Hari Hari. This is the story of Lord Ramacandra, part 2. Lord Ramacandra is the 7th of the 10 avatars of Vishnu. So the Ramayana is written by Valmiki Muni, who was a disciple of Narad Muni. Valmiki Muni also lived during the same time as Lord Ram lived. He was a contemporary of Lord Ram. So Dasavatar was the king of Ayodhya, and he had 3 wives, Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. Kaushalya was the mother of Ram, Kaikeyi was the mother of Bharat, and Sumitra was the mother of twins, Lakshman and Shatrughna. So one day Lakshman, when they were obviously grown, they went on a tour or went traveling with sage Vishwamitra. So on their travels, Vishwamitra, Ram and Lakshman, they went to the city of Mithila, where King Janaka ruled. King Janaka is the father of Sita Devi, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi. And King Janaka was arranging for a Swayamvar ceremony for his daughter Sita, wherein she would be married. But the contest was that a person who wanted to marry Sita Devi, he had to lift the bow of Lord Shiva. Taking blessings from Vishwamitra Muni, Lord Ram not only lifted the bow of Lord Shiva, but he also broke it. Sita Devi, who had wanted to marry Lord Ram since she was a child, was overjoyed. Janaka was overjoyed, and a huge marriage ceremony took place. Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna also were married at that time. They then went back to Ayodhya, where King Dasavatar was preparing for the coronation of Lord Ram as the king of Ayodhya. But there was one wicked maid. Her name was Mantara. She was the maid of Kaikeyi. She told Kaikeyi, she said, "My dear Kaikeyi, do not allow for Dasavatar to install Ram on the throne of Ayodhya. If you do this, if you allow this, Lord Ram will kick both you and your son Bharat out of the kingdom of Ayodhya." Of course, this was untrue. Lord Ram would never do such a thing. But this evil-minded, wicked Mantara convinced Kaikeyi to do this. Kaikeyi went to her husband, Dasavatar, and she said, "My dear Dasavatar, my dear husband, you owe me 2 favors. I would like for you to grant me these 2 favors now." Dasavatar said, "Of course. What would you like? What can I do for you?" Kaikeyi said, "I want you to, first of all, put my son Bharat on the throne, number 1. And number 2, I want you to banish Ram to the forest for 14 years. Dasavatar, of course, was devastated. But when Ram heard this, he agreed without hesitation. He said, if this is the instruction of my father, the promise of my father, of course, I will honor the promise of my father." Lakshman said, "I am not going anywhere without Lord Ram. I'm also going to the forest with Lord Ram." Sita Devi, who is a Kshatriya princess, who is perfectly capable of dealing with any kind of hardship as any other person, also said, "I am not going to be without my husband. I am going with him to the forest. If that is his duty, it is also my duty." When Bharat heard this, he was furious. He said, "I will not sit on the throne of Ayodhya. Instead, I will manage the kingdom, but I will wait, and I will only do so until Lord Ram's return, at which time Lord Ram can take up leadership of Ayodhya." So Ram, Lakshman, and Sita, they went to the Dandakaranya forest. In the Dandakaranya forest, they built a hut, and they were living peacefully there. One day, a Rakshashi by the name of Shurpanaka happened to see Lord Ram, and she became attracted to him. She wanted to marry him. Lord Ram said, "My dear Shurpanaka, I'm already married. My wife Sita Devi is there. But my brother Lakshman is here alone. Perhaps he would agree to marry you." Lakshman said, "My dear Shurpanaka, no, I'm sorry. I'm simply a servant of my brother. Someone as wonderful as you should not marry a servant. You should marry Lord Ram." Shurpanaka became furious. In her own wicked mind, she thought that Sita Devi was the problem. So she attacked Sita Devi and tried to kill her. While she was attacking Sita, or she tried to attack Sita Devi, Lakshman immediately jumped up and dragged her off Sita Devi and punished her for trying to kill Sita Devi. Unfortunately, Shurpanaka was the sister of Ravana. She went to Lanka and she said, "My dear brother Ravana, in the forest of Dandakaranya there is a beautiful lady. You should go there and you should steal her for yourself. Make her your wife." Ravana agreed. He took a friend, Marichi, and they hatched a plan. Marichi was going to draw Ram and Lakshman away from Sita Devi, and Ravana was going to kidnap her. So Marichi took the form of a golden deer, and Sita asked for Ram and Lakshman to go and capture the deer. Ram went, later Lakshman went. But Lakshman, he drew a circle around the hut to protect Sita Devi before he left. Ravana came dressed as a sannyasi and he said, "My dear Devi, could you please give me something to eat?" So Sita Devi, of course, she went inside the house. She brought some fruit or whatever was there, and she stepped across the line, the protective line, to give the fruit and food to this who she thought was a sannyasi. It was Ravana. He grabbed her and kidnapped her. Ram and Lakshman came back after having killed the demon Marichi, who was disguised as a golden deer, saw that Sita was not there, and began looking all over for her. They came upon the Vanara king, Sugriva, and Ram asked him, "My dear Vanara king, my dear Sugriva, can you help me find my wife?" Sugriva said, "Yes, but only if you help me. My brother, Vali, is causing me immense distress. If you help me defeat him in battle, I will help you." So Ram and Lakshman helped Sugriva defeat Vali in battle. And then Sugriva, with his Vanara army, went to the ocean in search of Mother Sita. They asked Hanuman to jump across the ocean to see if Sita Devi was there. Hanuman jumped across the ocean, landed in Lanka, discovered Mother Sita there, and he became so upset and furious that he began attacking and destroying the city of Lanka, and he actually set the city of Lanka on fire from one end to the other. And then he jumped back to where Ram and Lakshman, Sugriva, and the Vanara army were waiting on the other side of the ocean. So then they began to build to build a bridge across the ocean. Lord Ram asked for the permission of Samudra Raj, the Lord of the Ocean. And after some time, the Lord of the Ocean, Samudra Raj, appeared, and the building of the bridge began. While this was going on, Hanuman, who was carrying these huge boulders, huge rocks, almost tripped over a little squirrel who was flicking pebbles into the ocean. And Hanuman said, "My dear little squirrel, what are you doing here? We're trying to build a bridge, and you're standing in the way throwing pebbles. We are throwing huge boulders, mountain peaks into the ocean to build this bridge. Your little pebbles are not helping. In fact, they're getting in the way. Everyone's trying not to trip over you. Please move aside, go somewhere else, and let us continue what we're doing here. We don't have a lot of time." When Lord Ram heard this, he chastised Hanuman. He says, "No, what that squirrel is doing, the service of that squirrel is as dear to me as you are, because that squirrel is endeavoring to the best of its ability. The best of its capacity is to throw little pebbles, but it's doing all that it can do. Just as you are, your capacity is greater, but you're also doing everything you can do. Your service is equal to the service of the squirrel and vice versa. My love for you, both of you, I accept the service from both of you equally. Hanuman understood the instruction and began to serve alongside this little squirrel, and together they began to, or continued to build the bridge to Lanka. Once they built the bridge, the Vanara army crossed, and a huge battle between Ravana and his Rakshasas and Ram and the Vanaras began. Ravana's son was Indrajit. Indrajit began fighting with Lakshman, and he hurt Lakshman seriously. And the Vanara doctor told Hanuman to get a particular medicine, an herb, to heal Lakshman's wounds. So Lakshman jumped from Lanka to the Himalayas to find this particular herb. When he got there, he could not recognize which herb was what. Deciding not to waste time, he picked up the entire mountain, jumped all the way back to Lanka, and gave the mountain to the Vanara doctor, saying, I could not distinguish between one herb and the other. You do so. So the doctor, this Vanara doctor, got on the mountain, took the herbs, made the medicine, and gave it to Lakshman. Lakshman got back on the field of battle, and he killed the son of Ravana, Indrajit. Ravana had a brother, Kumbhakarna, he was a giant. The entire Vanara army with Ram and Lakshman did everything they could until they finally defeated and killed Kumbhakarna. Then Ravana himself came to fight, and after an enormous battle between Ram and Ravan, Ram killed Ravan. Victorious, they all went to the Ashok Grove, where Sita was. And Sita was reunited with Ram. The younger brother, there was another younger brother of Ravan, his name was Vibhishan. Ram told Vibhishan, you are now responsible for the city of Lanka. You are now the king. You rule the city to the best of your ability. Then Vibhishan gave Ram, Lakshman, Sita, the Pushpak Viman, which is a aircraft for Ram, Lakshman, and Sita to go back to Ayodhya. So getting on this Pushpak Viman, Ram, Lakshman, Sita, and with Hanuman went back to Ayodhya. And of course, they were welcomed. The entire city welcomed them back. The 14 years had now passed, and everyone was waiting for the return of Ram. This celebration is called Diwali, or Deepavali in Sanskrit. When the entire city of Ayodhya lit candles in the evening to welcome Lord Ram on his return. So this is one of the many reasons why we celebrate Deepavali. It is a triumph, of course, of Vishnu over the demons, Ram over Ravan, but it is also the return of the Lord back home. So Ram, Lakshman, Sita, also with Hanuman and others, ruled over Ayodhya for many, many years. But the story does not end there. We will continue in part 3. Hari Hari.